Okay, we're live. So, hello everyone. So, this is interview. This is interview 3 of 3. We're doing for today, it's Sunday, October 17th. I hope everyone's well. I've literally been doing like these interviews back to back. So this is my last one for tonight, and I'm joined by my special guest. His name is Sam. He
What's
is
up,
to
guys?
my left, and a lot of you might recognize him from the short film that was just done.
Hey,
And so I have him here today. We will be asking him a lot of questions and all that stuff. And if you guys are interested, you can also ask a question live in the chat. But before I do, let me roll the intro. Hey, great. So, like I said, I have a special guest with me. His name is Samuel. So, as is customary on the AMBW channel, Sam, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
hey guys, I am 24 and I'm from Tallahassee, Florida, and yeah, I'm an actor.
Great. So Sam, why don't you explain what it is that got you into acting in the first place, and what are some things about it that you enjoy the most?
How much time do we have? I guess like long story short, when I was in high school, I started to kind of becoming aware of like racism and like racial tensions and whatnot. And a lot of things I didn't understand why I was treated a certain way or why like certain people changed around me or whatnot. Started to realize in high school, and I think I kind of made the connection of all of their like presumed assumption and stereotypes came from like social media and like movies at the time, and like the stuff that their parents saw were like super racist and like super like that like demasculated like men and like hypersexualized like Asian women and like made us our culture into super exotic thing. We're not like even human to that point. So whatever those parents like watched, got passed on to them, so like my classmates. So they didn't really know any better or whatever. So and I was like, there's no one like cool on screen or anything that's like kind of really looks like me in a cool way. There's like besides like Shang Chi, there's no like cool superhero and or like no one cool in Star Wars or any of these like action flicks. Like there's no like Asian guy with like a love relationships, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, like I kind of want to do that, or like I want to be a part of that where kids can watch it that are like me, like do something really cool and badass, because we're just like everyone else. So that's why I got into acting. And then my favorite part into acting is playing different characters from different perspectives and backgrounds, because it makes me evolve as a person, because I feel like people in general kind of have to evolve and then learn different perspectives and different experiences. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. That's very good. That's a very honest answer. That's great. And I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think everyone with like half a brain will be able to tell that that's what happens here. Especially, I don't know how it is overseas or anywhere else in the world, but especially in America, Asian women are hypersexualized, and hyper fetishized and objectified and all that stuff. And I have my own personal thoughts on that, but this isn't my interview, so I'm gonna keep it short and just basically say that I don't agree with it. But then again, I don't. I don't control anything, so I just buy the tickets. So that's basically
Right,
it.
right.
Well, okay. Well, thank you for that. And I want to sort of switch gears really quickly, and talk about the short film that you and I made because it's been getting some comments, on it, which are always welcome. By the way, I love people. Getting your feedback is great. So if you're watching at home, don't be afraid to comment. But for the short film that we did, actually, you know what? Hang on. Let's see if I can pull this up right here. I can pull this up right here. Uh, so let's see here. I'm gonna try to share the screen really quickly. Let's see. Nope, Chrome tab. Um, let's share this one. Okay. So, can you all see that? Okay. So that's. I don't know if you can see that or read that, but a couple of these comments are saying, I thought. Let's see. I don't like how Logan treated Hank in the last scene. She could have taken more time to understand his point of view during the conversations. I feel like Hank made a great effort to understand and say the right things to Logan. And there's a couple, few more, actually a lot more comments that basically say the same thing. I thought that she was totally unreasonable. In the beginning, she didn't even ask what he thought would be a better alternative to the protest. She seemed self righteous and entitled to rudeness. African Americans are not the only group of people who are discriminated against, and she acts like we have the market cornered on discrimination. Wow. So obviously, yeah. So you were obviously, the male lead in that film. And by the way, I had a great time working with everyone, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. But what are your thoughts on those comments, Sam? Like, what do you think? What was your, not the character, but like your own personal opinion take on that? How did you feel about that?
Yeah, honestly, I was actually really surprised by like the comments how they thought Logan was being super unreasonable. Because at least when I played the character and when I was acting it out, it felt like I thought Hank was being like the complete asshole in this situation. But I guess people in the comments or like people watching it took that like Hank was being reasonable and Logan wasn't being unreasonable, which kind of really took me by surprise. Still, um, I mean, I do see people's comments and stuff like that, and it does like Hank did come from a genuine like reasoning. He had genuine reasoning and perspective. It wasn't like he didn't refute that like about the Black Lives Matter. I think he's reasonably questioning um the effectiveness and how they were protesting. But I guess the part that I saw more so in Hank as the character was that he was still kind of closed minded about like people's struggles and stuff like that. Because in when I was in high school and middle school growing up, I kind of grew up in a bubble, so I was closed minded. So that's what I really saw in Hank. And so that's why when I was like reading and studying the character, I was like, oh, this is kind of like me in high school and closed minded. And I was kind of like a dick, I guess. And so, yeah, that's just kind of my general opinion. I don't really have anything theoretically like chopped up or anything, but yeah, that's just my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of interesting to note because I actually, when I posted it, I thought that the reactions would be the opposite. I thought most people would be more mad at Hank, for what he said or whatever, and it's actually literally the opposite. If for those of you who are just watching it now, we're talking about a short film that we made a few weeks ago and is now on the channel to view. But basically, a lot of the comments, no, not a lot, all of the comments are basically supporting Hank's, his actions or his basically his character, which is very interesting. Very interesting to note. Um, yeah, no, I absolutely do agree. I do agree with what you're saying. I agree with everyone's saying actually. I feel like I think looking it is a little bit kind of a stretch that she would get mad at him and like dump him after 6 years, over one argument, especially something like this where he does try to take the time to change or to understand her point of view. Um, but yeah, so that's a very interesting experience. Wow, I did not expect that. So I want to show a little bit. There's no audio because I don't know how to play it on here, but there is. We're gonna watch. This is from the short film that we did. Um, and Sam, what did you think of when we were shooting it? Did you enjoy the making of the film?
Oh yeah, it was super great. Like everyone on there was super collaborative. Everyone had a voice and like treated other with respect, and everything like ran smoothly. Like there was no really like no one like argued. We were all kind of like on the same pace, you know, and the crew were really diverse, you know. So I felt like everyone kind of, even though they weren't of the same race or anything, they just like, you know, it's just like I diversity piece. So it went really well. I think your mic is muted.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, well, thank you for that. And this is a scene we're watching right now with you and another actor, Felicia, who plays Logan. I'm actually supposed to interview her next week as well. So that's cool. So I get to get her take on things. But yeah, no, I enjoy working with you all. You know, honestly, I've done, I think, was it 4 or 5 of these things so far. And this is probably one of the most, maybe if not the most enjoyable experience I've had so far,
Oh,
making
okay.
it. And so yeah, and so I'm glad, that we everyone had a good time, and I'm glad that everyone watching it gets to enjoy it, and comment on it and all that stuff. And for all you watching at home right now, also live or on the replay, I haven't written anything yet, but I am planning on doing another one. And yeah, so so yeah, I am planning on doing another one. I don't know when. Because like I said, I literally have nothing written down yet. But ideally, it will be sometime next year. So, yeah. So yeah, get ready for that. But
Yeah, that's been a big cliffhanger.
oh, definitely. And I just want to say that I know that this short film, I was a little bit nervous, kind of going into it because I didn't know. Obviously, I'm not black, right? And but I still try to understand, sort of the issues that everyone goes on. And I feel like even though I'm not black, I still am a person of color, right? Whether or not everyone wants to acknowledge that or not, Asians are people of color too. And I feel like people of color in general should support each other, especially in times of BLM and stop Asian hate and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's better for the entire human race as a whole,
Yeah,
you
I don't
know?
think anybody took it the wrong way because like that you're the creator and you're Asian. I don't see anyone in the comments saying like, "Oh, why is this Asian guy telling stuff about like BLM?" And like, no, we're like kind of on the same team, and he did a great job. So, you're
I'm
muted again.
mute again. There you go. Fuck. Yeah, no, I agree, man, and absolutely, like I was saying, I was a little bit nervous, but at the same time, I felt more confident as we were doing it. You know what I mean? I felt like this is a story that I want to tell, and I hope that people react well to it. And so far, I think the reaction has been pretty positive. So that's very good. And I just want to say, like I said, part 2 is coming, and it will, as if things weren't kind of dramatic enough in this first one, it also tackles the next one. I'm planning to tackle Stop Asian Hate as well, and that will definitely, I don't know, that will definitely also spark some
Oh, can I
conversation.
say a fun fact that's off tangent?
Oh yeah, sure.
Literally the following Tuesday or following Thursday or Tuesday, we shot that film. I was taking a stunt class, and then the mom of the short film was there. I was like, no, like no way you're here. So small world.
Oh, are you there? Okay, sorry. We lost connection for a little bit, folks, but sorry about that. Sam, are you there?
Yep. Hmm.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I think, but yeah. So, well, that sounds cool. That's funny. Yeah, it's a small world. It's absolutely a small world. Okay. So yeah. So there's that. So it's great. So let's say, like, Sam, I guess, what do I say? Um, so I also want to bring up another fun fact. And I've talked to you about this, not to put you on the spot, but I do want to brag to everybody that I do have a official MCU connection now. Because as of a lot of you are aware of, there's a movie called Shang Chi out, which is, I think it's still in theaters. So you can go check it out. It's really good. But it also, for the music video, with Janae Aiko, we have none other than Sam, to my left, who was also in the video as well. So I would show it, but I don't want to get the video. Then the video would get demonetized and it would get copyrighted. So I can't do that. But you can check it out. I'll include the link down in the video description below. And yeah, I by the way, I love that song. I think that song is great. I thought the video was a lot of fun, like I told you before. It was a really good video, man. It was a nice, pleasant surprise. I really, honestly, I didn't actually know they would be making a video for that, because Black Panther sort of went through the same thing. They had a few songs that they didn't do videos for, and I was like, oh, I was kind of wondering why they didn't. So, but no, I enjoyed the song a lot. I enjoyed the film a lot, and it's pretty cool to to have met someone who is, I guess, in the MCU circle now. So that's awesome. Can you tell us?
Very loosely, broadly, I
No,
guess.
absolutely not, man. You are absolutely a part of that part of Shang Chi, universe and family now. So it is cool that I get to claim that connection. But just tell us a little bit, man. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was really cool. Like, funny enough, I just kind of showed up. I wasn't exactly sure. I knew it was a prom scene, but I didn't know like what the little details were. But like everyone there was Asian. We all were kind of like were wondering who was gonna be the like what artists were there. So we all got a good surprise and stuff like that. And yeah, everyone like production wise, like everything went really smoothly. Like literally all the background characters and all the students there were Asian, and they got a lot of like the small details right, like the market and stuff. And then everyone was like super cool. Like a lot of the people that were in the music video were from this one talent agency that was specifically geared for Asians. So it's kind of cool seeing them and like see what projects they're working on. And everyone was like super cool. And yeah, it was a really fun shoot. Long, but it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's a big regret of mine that I can't show it here, but YouTube is kind of a bitch about that stuff. So I can't really do it, because otherwise, what's the point of doing this video then? But no, I will say that I've watched it. I've watched it several times. And it is such, the song itself already is like really, really chill and just like a fun song. You know what I mean? I think it puts you in a good mood. And then watching the video, like I said, I wasn't expecting them to do a video to this, but when I woke up, that's literally the first thing I saw on my notifications on YouTube. So I checked it out, and I was like, this is literally a video that features, an Asian artist, right? Janae Aiko is Asian, and then not only that, but like literally everybody in the video is also Asian. And it's like you don't see that. You never, like, especially even in music videos and stuff, you don't see music, TV, film.
That's
You don't
true.
see that. Like, you know what I mean? You never see that many Asians in something that's like mainstream, right? Like mainstream in like America. Right. So that was absolutely just like the best thing to wake up to. It was a nice surprise. So that's awesome. You got to be a part of that, man. Um, what was I say? So yeah, Sam. So I would say like I don't think I've really, like, you and I never really talked about this, but like I know, like, going back in your thoughts on, you know what I mean, like how, the media portrays us and all that stuff, right? And sort of
Mhm,
following along the lines of, the more negative, portrayals of Asian Americans, especially Asian American men in the
mhm,
media. I wanna get your thoughts on that more, sort of in depth, and like I said, you can pretty much say anything, just don't say the what we're going on right now, the pandemic, the C word.
mhm,
Don't say
right.
that. So
Yeah.
if you have to refer to that, say Bud Light instead. But the floor is yours, man. I mean, just go crazy. Just tell us exactly how you feel, and your experiences on that subject, and what it is that you hope will change.
Yeah, like as I said earlier of why I got into acting, was like not seeing people like me on screen and or anything mainstream, but like yeah, I think it's like a lot of people don't realize how psychological it is and like how like kids and like stuff like that will just kind of like watch that kind of material and that kind of like trickles in, like it's kind of psychological because like it's like been there's like so many like laws that have been made barring specifically like Chinese immigrants from immigrating to the United States, and then like locking like Japanese people up in like the 1940s of World War II, there's like so many like countless laws that are like restricted like Chinese people and Asian people immigrating to the United States, So like of course like people who say systemic racism isn't a thing, like it's a big thing. I've been reading this book called Interior Chinatown, and it talks about that, like how like even like Chinese people at a certain time couldn't get like citizenship, and how like uh all colors of men, if like a Caucasian woman married a person of color, she lost her rights for citizenship, you know, like redlining, you know, like, so not only was it in government, it was like that kind of same process and same people, you know, made like media, you know. So of course, like Asian men were like so demasculized, and it kind of sucks. Like, you know, like as Asian guys growing up, we were never like shown as like the prom pick, you know what I mean? We were never shown as like boyfriend, you know, we were all just kind of like pigeonholed into like these certain things, you know. And then yeah, I think it like affected my dating life, especially in like high school. I didn't really get it. In college, I still was like, okay, you know, like we've all tried like online dating, like Tinder, you know, and stuff like that. And then like statistically, like Asian men literally have it the worst. Like guys already have it like bad, but Asian men specifically, you know, like it's like non-existent almost. Um um yeah, I don't know. I'm just ranting at this point.
No, it's fine. And I've gone through everything that you're saying, and it's no lie. I mean, it's you're very like dead on about a lot of these unfortunate experiences and stuff. I've experienced a lot of it, man. I've experienced discrimination. I've experienced exclusion, if you want to call it that. But I also want to take the time to address something that I don't think I've ever said on this channel. I don't think anyone's ever said on the channel. And that obviously, so this being the AMBW channel, we talk about Asian men, dating black women and all that stuff. And but I also want to sort of address and hopefully, Asian men watching this, they see this, and so I'm trying to address them. Is that don't get down about online dating, especially because yes, there are a lot of negative statistics. Yes, there are some racist people out there that don't want to date us because you're Asian or whatever. That's their problem. That's not your problem. First of all, there's nothing necessarily wrong with you, especially because of your race. You should never let anyone dictate how you feel about yourself or how you feel about your chances in finding someone. Now that being said, I do know that a lot of Asian men uh who are interested in dating outside their race, a lot of them want to date white women, and that is the truth. But I also do want to say that to Asian men watching, don't limit yourself to just white women. You know what I mean? There are a lot of fantastic black women. There are a lot of great, Latin women as well, and Native American, whatever else, non-Asian girls. Um, everyone deserves a shot at love, and I feel like, especially with the statistics showing that Asian men and black women are, I guess, the least, I don't know, considered, the least desirable, at least online dating wise. That I mean, it's not just because of that they should give each other a chance, but I feel like, you know, to all the Asian dudes watching at home, if you're just thinking about, oh, I want to date a white girl or whatever, try something new, just consider dating black women too. You know, um,
Yeah, don't like
absolutely.
hold women of like different color or women in general to like pedestals, you know. That's all I wanted to say. Like, don't treat them as like this like secret like artifact that will unlock all your fantasies or whatnot, because that's just
Mhm.
fetishizing at that point. Just putting
Yeah,
that out there, you know.
yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, because we all know how much, like, especially non-Asian dudes love to fetishize Asian women. I'm sure that a lot of us, Asian guys or whatever, like, we might complain about that a lot of times. So, just think about that. I mean, if you don't want Asian guys, non-Asian dudes to fetishize Asian women, then try not to fetishize white women or black women or Latino women. You know what I mean? Everybody should just go after each other and date each other for the right reasons, right? But even though it doesn't, most of the time, it doesn't really happen like that. But you just should. So I'm just putting it out there. But yeah. So no, those are good thoughts, and those are absolutely good thoughts. And I'm glad that I got to have this interview with you. I just have a couple more questions because I know we've been talking for a little while now. But yeah, so what, I guess, what are your hopes, right, for yourself, in the entertainment industry as an actor? Like, what are some goals that you hope to achieve? I don't want to say like, the typical question, which is like, where do you want to be in 5 years? But
Uh-huh.
where do you see yourself 5 or 10 years from now, right? Like maybe 10, even 10, 15 years down the line, if you're still doing this. Like, what are some of your goals?
Dang. That's a good question. I have a bunch of like short-term goals cuz like I never really think about long-term goals cuz I feel like short-term goals for me are more attainable to see. But where I want to be in 15 years, I think having a Hollywood star would be freaking dope, especially as like an Asian like American. Like, who are like the are there any besides like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee? Like anyone from the last like 20 years or whatever. So I think that'd be cool. I know it's like pretty superficial because like I don't really care about awards and stuff like that. I really don't. Like I just care about making like good quality work. And if I think it's good and quality, like that satisfies me. But I guess like it's Hollywood. Like if I had a Hollywood star, like dude, that's so freaking baller. Like I guess does that answer your question? Does that qualify?
Yeah, no, and I think that's a very good answer. Because it would be pretty cool. I mean, I'm not an actor or anything like that, so I don't really think about that kind of stuff. But I would imagine that that would be pretty cool. Especially for, yeah, especially for, Asian actors. They need, Asian actors need more. You guys need more recognition, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, especially sort of a topic, but I feel like in general, actors of color, black, Asian, Hispanic, non-white actors, they all need more recognition. They need better parts written for them, and I think that's where that begins. That change, what I mean, for representation begins in, with like the screenwriter, right, and with the producers and whatnot.
And
Um,
sorry, can I interrupt real quick?
yeah, sure.
And it's not just like Asian actors. It's like anywhere in the entertainment business, writers, producers, directors, agents, like casting directors, it's like all aspects of the industry, like every single cuz like actors couldn't be where they are without the producers or directors, writers, etc., etc. So it's not just it's like the business people too. Like and crew. Sorry, just
No, that's okay. That's 100% true. And what I was gonna say real quick was that, so I know, this is gonna sound off topic, but it's not. I promise. Is that so the new James Bond movie just came out, No Time to Die, which in my opinion was kind of trash, but it is, it's kind of cool, especially if you're a fan of the Daniel Craig era. It is his last one. I'm not gonna go into why, because that'd be spoilers. But I will say that that came out, and that got, the discussion of, could a non-white male actor play Bond, right? And of course, they're throwing out, different names like Idris Elba, Henry Golding,
mhm.
all that stuff. Neither of which are white, right? But they otherwise, I think they would, fit the role. They wouldn't be bad. But that got me thinking. I was like, you know what? Well, that would be cool to see. The first Asian Bond or the first Black Bond. That would be cool. I'm not going to deny it would be cool, but at the same time, what would be even cooler and have a longer lasting impact in Hollywood is doing what I just said. It's just getting writers to start writing roles for men of color, better roles for men of color, original roles for men of color, so that they don't have to, consider, or, you know what I mean, like, get people to try to get them to, race bend or gender bend or race swap or whatever. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, that's where, the problem begins. That's where the sort of, the solution begins to it, is that, you know what I mean, like, there's not enough representation, there's not enough roles for people of color in the first place, which is why we have these discussions. You know what I mean? It's like, this role needs to be race bended or swapped or whatever. So yeah, no, I know it's kind of off topic, but that got me thinking. You know what I mean? It's like, that is a problem. You know what I mean? In Hollywood, it's not just, there's just not enough roles for men of color, especially in this instance where we're talking about, like Asian American men of color. I'm sure there's a lot of representation, obviously overseas in Asia, right, where we're like, the majority. But here in America, where like the central hub of Hollywood is, that's definitely a problem. So, but yeah, so hopefully things change. And hopefully things pick up, and more doors open up for people that look like you and me, and just in everyday people, basically, who aren't white. So,
And
um,
at least like stopping us from making our own material too, and that blowing up.
mhm. Yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. And on that note, I'm gonna wrap this interview up now, but I do want to say on that note, but yeah, so me and Sam, for everyone watching right now and who aren't aware of this, so me and Sam made a short film a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, and like I said, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working on it with everybody. And it is up. I will include the link to that in the description of this video. And also, Sam, is there anything you would like to say, or also on that note, social media wise, if people are interested in following you and all that stuff, where can people find you?
Oh, it's just SAMSU underscore underscore. So there's two underscores.
Okay, excellent, excellent. Well, yeah, like I said, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy day to talk to us, or to talk to
Yeah, thank
me.
you everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, it was a pleasure working with you, and I look forward to working with you again in the future. I don't have a specific date yet. In fact, I don't have anything written at all. Period. So there's some stuff I gotta do first, but once I get it sorted out, then we'll start planning things and we'll go from there.
Yeah, look
But
forward to it.
yeah, so with that being said, I'm gonna let you go. But before I do, is there anything else that you want to add about anything
Yeah,
or anything like
thank
that? Or?
you for everyone who like watched the film, and like thank you for everyone watching the channel. We couldn't do this without you. We're doing it for us. We're doing it for you guys. We're doing it for everyone. So yeah, thank you, and more content's coming soon.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, it basically took the words right out of my mouth. So, all right. Well, guys, thank you very much. If you made it to the end of this video, if you're watching it on the replay or live, most likely on the replay, please like this video, like the video, press the like button. Don't hit the dislike button, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit subscribe, comment down below. More importantly, like, subscribe, and share it with your friends so that this channel can keep running. But until then, guys, I have some more new content, mostly interviews coming along the way, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I will see you guys later. So peace out, guys.
Bye.
So.
Thanks.